the systems down or what? Is your email working?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a lot of problems? Is a lot of people on their business with this brain man?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, hello, Mindy. Hello, Lynn. Hi, Kathy, Tisha, Rachel, Tim, Indro, Loretta, Jasminder, Joanne, Bala, Les, Kim, Rena, Kathy, Janine, Terrell, you. And if you're not on here yet, I didn't say hello to you. I'll say hi to Greg and Stephanie. They're joining us as well. All right. My name is Dan Rochon. Thanks for joining me today for day one of our 5-day listing challenge of how to take listings without having to, that's right, Tim. Yeah. Woo. Without having to knock on doors, without having to cold call, and without having to beg. Unless if you want to, because we can talk about how to beg as well. All right. So let me ask you guys a favor. I would appreciate, and it's for your benefit, if you could turn your cameras on right now. And the reason for that is because when we can actually see each other and we can actually interact with each other, then we'll be able to gain more out of this conversation. Certainly you want to gain more out of the conversation. Would you guys all give a thumbs up on that? Yes? Yes. All right. Fantastic. Okay. So we may or may not be live streaming into Facebook. We are live streaming into YouTube right now. Apparently Facebook decided to shut itself down for our conversation today, which is unfortunate because guess what we were supposed to go through today? Anybody want to guess how to lead generate on Facebook? That's okay. We'll go to a plan B. So go ahead and put your videos on if you could, and feel free to put it in the chat. Normally I would ask for you to do this on Facebook. But maybe if you could be on the YouTube live stream, maybe if you're on the YouTube live stream, go ahead and put in your name, put where you are. Somebody just put the YouTube live stream in there. So why don't we go over to the YouTube live stream and put in your name, put who you are, where you are, and where you'd like to get a great referral. What areas do you serve? So again, my name is Dan Rochon, and today we're going to talk about how to get listings and how to do so successfully. And who is this conversation for? This conversation is for real estate agents who want to have CPI. And what is CPI? CPI stands for consistent and predictable income, which is a proprietary system designed to take a scientific approach to real estate sales so that you can have closings every single month of your career without letting time or money or relationships fall through the cracks. Does that sound like something that you would be interested in? Yes or yes? All right. Who is this not for? This is not for wannabe agents. It's not for victims, and it's not for excuse makers. So if that's you, it's not for you. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Jason from Orlando. Esha from Miami. Ramadine from the Bay Area, California. Mindy, hello, from San Diego. Make sure that you guys grab each other's contact information. So what will you get during the next 5 days? You're going to get where to get seller leads. You're going to get a path and a plan on how to get hired more often. You're going to learn how to make more money. You're going to understand how to save time. And you're going to know how to beat the best neighborhood agent out there. What will you get at the end of this challenge? You're going to get the number one way that I use to take a little bit less than 2 listings a week every week of my career. So I'm averaging about 1.6 listings a week that I take. And I've done that since early 2008. So I've had consistency through a long period of time. You're going to be entered into winning a raffle or enter into a raffle to be able to get a one-on-one coaching conversation with me. We're going to be raffling away 2 of those. We're also going to be raffling away on a daily basis a copy of the Real Estate Evolution. This is the 10-step guide to CPI, which goes through a step-by-step process to show you exactly in a comprehensive way of how to get that consistency that I talked about. Because who here has read this book, by the way? Mindy has. All right, Mindy has. Who else? I don't see. Mindy, what would you? Is it a good book? Rachel has. Go ahead. You can speak. Take yourself off mute.
Yeah, it's a great book in that it really helps you use the skills you already have and you like to devise lead generation and making a simple system with your tools instead of being forced to do stuff you don't like.
Yeah, thank you, Mindy. So that's a great, and that's the way that I teach. I teach to sit there and say, we all have God-given skills. So what is your God-given skill? Now let's take that and let's lean into it. Let's put that onto steroids. So the reality of business is that you do have to lead generate. You do have to find business. But the availability to be able to choose on how you lead generate, on how you find business, that's up to you. And each one of us, each one of you have got a unique God-given skill set that you're able to embrace, to be able to generate business. So before we keep moving on, if you've joined us recently, I'm going to invite you to make a strong request to please put your videos on, participate in the conversation. It will be interactive. It won't just be me talking for the next 30 or 40 minutes or whatever the case may be. I want to get your conversation. I want you to be a part of the conversation. Efren from New York City. Welcome, Efren. Thanks for joining us today. So let me give you a little bit of sort of a summary of what we're going to be going through today and over the next 5 days. First 15 minutes or so of each conversation, we're going to be reviewing the previous day's action steps, and we'll be doing some house cleaning. We'll be just sort of going through, setting an agenda, answering questions from the day before, and setting us up for success. Then about 25 minutes or so, I'm going to present to you a tactic. I'm going to present to you an actionable step that you'll be able to take to be able to get listings. Hello, Stephanie from the Maryland, Baltimore area and the surrounding area. Hello, Phyllis from Long Island. All right, we've got a whole country joining us today. The last 5 minutes of the conversation, we'll do a Q&A session. All right, so we're going to start on time at 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon p.m. Pacific time. I said that right. I forgot what it was called there for a second. I was looking at Mindy when I said that too. Sorry. I don't know where I blinked on that. So it's 3 or 12 or anything in between, whatever your appropriate timetable is. And we're going to be starting precisely on time. And we'll be ending precisely on time as well. I'm going to encourage for you to participate. I'm going to encourage for you to have fun, to learn, to keep an open mind, and participate on the CPI community on Facebook, on the Facebook group, which is where we're supposed to be right now, but we're not. So the Facebook gods frowned upon us. All right, guys, does this make sense, everybody, what we're doing? You guys all clear? Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to learn. All right, Wendy, my neighbor from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Fantastic, Wendy. Maybe we can meet each other. Maybe we can conspire to be able to help each other. All right, a little bit about me and a little bit about what, where I've seen a lot of agents, where a lot of agents start in this business. So where a lot of agents start in this business is when we talk about listings. Can we all agree that listings supposedly is the name of the game in regards to keeping longevity into a real estate sales business? Can we all agree to that?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Now, why would I say supposedly? Because I'm going to be real with you guys. The reality of it is there's very, very, very few agents that know how to take listings. The majority of agents end up working with buyers. And then some agents end up working with a ton of listings. Would you guys all agree with that as a reality? Right? So why is it that so few agents, when we know that listings is the name of the game, and we know that those that take listings are the agents that are going to last through time, and we know that those that take listings are the agents that are going to be able to take off the weekends if they choose, that are going to be able to follow a controlled schedule if they choose, able to make more money if they choose. If that's all known, and it is true, by the way, that's all true. if agents that take listings do all of that, why do so few agents actually become listing agents? What do you guys think? Shout out, anybody. Why do so few agents become listing agents? Type in the chat, shout out, whatever. Indo, go. Indra.
Because they don't know how to do it.
Because they don't know how to do it. Fantastic. Why else?
They're embarrassed of rejection.
Embarrassed to rejections. Who is that that's speaking?
Julio.
Julio. Thank you, Julio. Fantastic. Embarrassed from rejection. Why else?
They don't get the help they need from their managing broker.
Okay. They don't get the help that they need from their managing broker or from somebody else, really. I love working with buyers. Okay. That's acceptable. Hey, Kim, I didn't know that you were here. Hi, Kim. How are you? You're in Massachusetts. Oh, my goodness. Kim, help me. Where are you from? Massachusetts. Is it Massachusetts? Am I right on that?
It is. I'm just outside of Concord. Thank you. Good job.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, Kim. I was like, is it Massachusetts or Connecticut? I wasn't sure which.
You got it.
All right. So nice to meet you, Kim. I don't think we've actually met face to face before. I'm glad to meet you. Okay. Hey, you got a little kitty cat there. That's fantastic. All right. So what I find that most agents, why they end up not taking listings is either they don't know how, they feel that there's too much competition, that they don't know necessarily how to compete against the neighborhood agent. Does anybody here have a neighborhood agent that is like in your area that's hard to compete with? Mindy says yes. Jason nods and said yes. Ephraim says yes. They are concerned about discount agents. Is anybody here concerned about discount agents? Okay, I see a lot of hands go up on that one. Almost everybody. Let me give you the reality of discount agents. I've been selling homes since 2007. And ever since 2008, I haven't had a single month that has gone by without a closing, on average of 10 closings every single month. When I started selling homes in 2007, do you guys think discount agents were around? They were. The difference is, unfortunately, that the discount agents today are technology enabled. That's the difference. The discount agents back in the day that help you sell, the ones that are actually out of business today, right? Because it's not a good business model. There's always been discount agents, right? So if I could succeed when the technology wasn't as enhanced as it is today with discount agents, and today when it is more enhanced, you can too. Other reasons why people think it may be hard to take a listing. Maybe like right now, you may be considering about, hey, seasonality, there's less business out there. Would that be true? Would you guys agree with that? Less opportunity. Vicky nods her head, yes. So maybe you're new to the business. Maybe that's something you're like, hey, I'm new to the business. How the heck can I take listings? Is that true to anybody? Who's that true to? Indra raises his hand. Vicky, Stephanie, Bala. Bala, did I say that correctly? Bala or Bala? Bala? All right, thumbs up to Bala. Yes? All right, we'll go with it. All right. If I butcher any of your names, just interrupt me because I want to make sure that I get that correct. So if we can understand that that's the challenges that we have, it's like, how do I even freaking do this? Then how do you do it? So I told you that I want to tell you a little bit about myself. And the reason why I want to share a little bit about me, because I want you to understand that you and I, we're the same. There's no difference between myself and you or myself and anybody else. I have figured out a pathway to success, and I'm going to show you that here in a few minutes. And when I started in real estate in 2007, before I started to sell real estate, I was a waiter. And I was a 32-year-old waiter before I started selling real estate. And I remember at the time I had recently given up drinking. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I was struggling as an addict. I was struggling in my life, and I knew that I had like this thing that I needed to be able to help people. This thing like on the inside of me, and I knew that I needed to be able to. I knew that I was going to choose. Probably at the time I thought I needed, but today I realized that I had the choice to be able to help people solve their problems and achieve their goals. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but again, I was a waiter. So I didn't know how. I didn't know how to be able to be that person that I desired. And one day I was at Eagle Island, we're scooping butters into the little butter ramekins. And my buddy Bill, shouts over and he says, "Hey, Rochon, hey, have you ever thought about being a real estate agent?" And I was like, "A what?" I mean, of course I knew what a real estate agent was, but I hadn't considered it. And then I found out it took me 60 hours and about $3,000 to be able to get my license. And I realized that the barrier to like the top was unlimited. I could be able to make as much money as I was able to create. And I saw this as a huge opportunity. So I got my license in November 2007. Does anybody here know what was happening in November 2007 in the economic market, in the real estate market at that time? Anybody?
The housing crash.
Boom! The housing crash happened December 2007 into January 2008. I got my license literally 1 month before then. So my first 6 months in sales were tough. In fact, I had 0 closings in my first 6 months of sales. April 2008, 6 months after I got my license, I did my first closing. And since that day, I've been able to put together systems to be able to create that longevity and be able to create that outcome so that I can be able to have significance. I can be able to support my family, achieve my goals in my life, and be able to avoid the obstacles, avoid the despair, and instead have the sustainability that I desire. And I documented that in the coaching system, the CPI certification, which is consistent predictable income, that some of you have gone through, and to be able to walk you step by step of how you can do the same. So last thing of an agenda, and then I'm going to dive into some education. 5 days coming up. Day 1 is where to find sellers. Day 2 is how to handle the objection. I would sell if I could. Day 3 is how to find motivated sellers. Day 4 is an assignment that will change your life. And day 5, we're going to wrap it all up. And that assignment on day 4, if anybody's gone through this before, it will really, truly change your life. We're going to have a couple agents that are going to be in the field, that are going to be going on listing appointments in the field. And we're going to Skype them in or Zoom them in, I guess, or YouTube them in or whatever we're going to be doing. And they're going to be going to a listing appointment probably tomorrow or the next day. We're going to talk to them about 5 minutes before they go into the listing appointment. And then the day after, we're going to do a little debrief of what happened. So I have to set those appointments up, right? Like I just gave that to you as a promise. And I have so much confidence that this works. I don't have those appointments set right now. That's why I said tomorrow or the next day, because I have to figure out how to set those appointments up. Well, I know how to. I just have to implement it. All right, and we're going to have John and Kat, and I think John and Kat are maybe on here. I don't know. I don't see them, but John and Kat are going to be attending those appointments. I'm just scrolling over to see if I can see you guys. All right, I don't see either one of them on here. So guess what? We're going to hold them accountable for getting the appointments because they're not here. We can talk behind their backs because they're not here to defend themselves. Isn't that fun? All right, so that's the agenda. So let's talk about how to do this. So again, today I'm gonna be a little bit less tactical than I was intending to be because Facebook is shut down, or at least they were when I started to teach. Right now, I'm not sure if they still are at this moment. And so I'm going to give you, instead of giving you a tactic, I'm going to give you one tactic today, and I'll talk to you about what the Facebook tactic is that I was going to teach. And then I'll give you some like just straight up real, like, hey, if you want to have that consistency in your business, here's what you need to do. And when I was preparing for this presentation, I had posted on different Facebook groups to invite people to this. And one of the groups was asking me about, well, show me the proof that you've actually done this, Dan. Well, guess you can Google any of these addresses and you'll find my name on those listings as a listing agent. So I promoted this as I've taken 67 listings in the past 12 months. That's not true. I've taken 74 listings that have hit the market, and I've got another 5 in pre-listing right now. So the real number is 79 listings that I've taken in the last 6 months. So these are just my listings. These are not my buyers. All right. And those are, I just did an MLS search this morning and I said 365 days. What have I listed? You can see some of them, like this 75 Sapphire, have expired. And some of them canceled, like this East West Highway. But a lot of them have closed, right? So if you take enough listings, you're going to get some expireds, and you're going to get some cancels, and you're also going to get a bunch of closed as well. All right, so those are my actual real results over the past. And you can see that's going back to 10/30/2020 right there. So that's the last date of the. I think that's the last date. Yep. So it looks like that's the last date. So, so the tactics. So let me tell you the tactics. So the tactic I intended to do today was to show you how to use Facebook as the access to be able to get listings. So let me just describe it to you briefly, and then I'm going to send you an email. When I send you the email, we'll give you some like step-by-step directions that you can use as a resource. Instead of, because normally I would like to, when I'm teaching, actually show you me doing it, but I can certainly describe it to you. If you're not comfortable with Facebook, if this confuses you, if this makes you like what's he talking about, then just put it aside for a second, right? Because again, it's about taking your God-given skill, and if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it. I promise by the end of the week, you're going to have something that you are comfortable to do. By the end of this week, you're going to have an exact tactic that you can implement to be able to create those results that I just showed you for you. So if you intend to use Facebook, I had sent out a message before our class today to ask for you to identify a buyer who you're working with, to identify the exact people who you're working with. Has anybody done that? Who's done that exercise? Okay, it looks like just a few of you have. Jeff has, and Kim has. Kim in the northwest of Boston. I love that you changed your name there so we know where to refer to. So if you've done that, great. If you've not done that, then what you want to do is you want to write down, get a pen and paper. So you should have pen and paper anyway, so we can all take notes. And I want you to just don't dive into this too deeply right now, because I want you to pay attention. But what I'd like for you to do is to write down a name or two or three of buyers who you're currently working with. And maybe they've written an offer that did not get accepted. Maybe they are just starting early in the process. Maybe they're sort of hesitant, but whatever the case may be, who are they? What are they looking for? What price range are they looking for? And where are they looking to buy a home? So those are the three criteria that I'm asking for you to do. Who are they? Where are they looking? What price are they looking for? And what are they looking for? And do that for one or three names. And if you are new to the business and you don't have a buyer, then think of your avatar for a buyer as though if you did have a buyer, of what they could possibly be looking for. So if I could show you Facebook right now, if Facebook was live, then what I would show you is to then visit some groups. And so you want to visit some groups that are specific to an area. So there's a bunch of groups online where people will, like the CPI group, for example. By the way, if you haven't joined the CPI group, please do so. And somebody will type that where you can join that here in the chat. But there's groups online that are specific to a geography. For example, Loudoun County is a county in Northern Virginia. And those that are Northern Virginia know where that is. Those that aren't probably don't know where it is. And Loudoun County has a group, a Facebook group. And what I was going to do is I was going to show you, I've got these buyers that I'm working with right now, or a member of my team rather is working with, Suresh and Arna. And Suresh and Arna are looking for a property that's in Chantilly, Virginia. So they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhome. They're looking at $450,000 to $500,000 range. So what I would do is I would take their names and I would take what they're looking for and I would post that onto the Facebook group that is unique to their geography. And I would say, hey, Facebook, can you help me with a problem? I'm a local real estate agent. I'm working with Suresh and Arna. And as you probably know, the market has, there's not a lot of inventory on the marketplace right now. And they're looking to buy a home for themselves and their soon to be daughter, because Arna's about 8 months pregnant. And they're looking for a home to be able to raise their family to, with their new to be child. And I would post it on a group, and then I would ask and say, who do you know that may have a property that they may be a good home for Suresh and Arna? Now, what I get as an objection to this tactic sometimes is I get the objection, well, I don't want to put Suresh and Arna's names out there. Well, I didn't give any last names, right? And I was relatively general and vague about the way I presented it. So I encourage for you to reconsider to be comfortable to use their names. And if you're not totally comfortable, then change their names. I don't like changing their names because I want to be authentic in all my communications. I want to be real. I want to be transparent. But you know what? If it's going to be an objection where you're just like not comfortable throwing that out online, I get that. I wouldn't actually give their full names myself. But I think just throwing 2 names out there is general enough that people won't know who they are, if that's a concern to you. So I would post that onto a Facebook group. I would post that onto my personal page. And that would be the technique that I would encourage for you to use. I would I would go into the Google Maps and I would take a copy of the geography. I would cut it and paste it so that there's a graphic in there as well. So that there's just a map graphic. That's all that you're doing. So that's a tactic that you could use. I want to show you a second tactic that's similar to that I'm going to show you here in a second. And then I want to share with you just oh, by the way, for real, how do you actually make this work? Some no BS. It's not going to be a tactic, but it's going to be straight up. Here's how you make this work. And here's how you get consistency. You guys okay with that? Thumbs up. Yes. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you. So where I am now is I am in a program called ClickSend. ClickSend is a program that I use to be able to send mass text. If you're interested in getting more or getting any of these systems, I put together a couple of worksheets over here that I'll send the links out for you guys, which has all the resources that I use. And then over here, it has a bunch of free stuff, including scripts, etc. And we'll post those into the chat here in a second. So you'll have all my scripts, you'll have all this stuff. This is free. This is something that we subscribe to, and that gives you the access to everything that we use. So ClickSend's one of the things that we use, and you can sign up for it on this page, the cpicommunity.com/cheap-listing-tools. And so that's the URL there. All right. So I'm going to send, so I have a small list. Unfortunately, I think there's only 6 people in this list of contacts of mine that are closest to where Suresh and Arna are looking for. And so what I did was I'm going to send these people that are in this list an email, or a text rather, not an email. And I was going to say, hey, can you do me a favor? I'm working with Suresh and Arna who are looking to buy a home here in Ashburn. They cannot find one. Who do you know that might sell? Does that seem like a pretty straightforward text? Does that confuse anybody? Does that freak anybody out to send a text like that to like people that you know in a geography? Everyone comfortable with that? Okay, again, if you're not comfortable with it, no sweat. We'll give you something that you are comfortable, right? But this is a relatively easy type thing to do here. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my program here, ClickSend, so that I can send this in mass. I'm going to go ahead and I just sent that out, or preparing SMS, and it will send out there. I think it already did. All right. It looks like there was 8 recipients. I thought there were 6 for some reason. And so this is the text that I just sent them, and we'll just see what comes back. Okay. So that's just 2 tactics: posting on Facebook and sending a text that you're going to take that buyer who you're working with, you're going to give them some specifics so you can sort of tell a story. I would have gotten a little bit more expansive in that if I was posting onto Facebook, because the context of Facebook's different than the context of a text. A text got to be pretty straight and direct. All right. So who here has like, just give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, we're going to do a Q&A here in about 10 minutes. You guys all good with that? All right. So now I'm going to transition to something that's less tactical and more foundational. And I want for you guys to really pay attention to what I'm about to share with you, because when you pay attention to this, you'll understand that you can create and design that life that you're seeking. And you can, I keep this card. I had it here on the desk here. Oh, I lost it. There it is. I keep this card in my wallet, and a lot of the CPI students who I work with have this card as well. I give it out when a lot of times when I give out the book. If you're a CPI student, you don't have this card, let me know, I'll get you one. But on this, it says despair to sustainability. And so sustainability, there's an acronym here I have as for sustain, which is safe, unwavering, sells homes consistently, trained, assured, impressive, and no more fear. So that's what sustaining is. Okay. And then for despair, it's dangerous, erratic, sells a home sporadically, primitive, afraid, ineffective, risky. So that's the average agent. So I keep this card with me to remind myself that I want to be this guy over here, not this guy over here. And to be able to do that, one of the things that I do is, which I believe is foundational, and I've done this since day one. If you want to know how I've been able to do this, I want to show you, this is my schedule. This is today's schedule. Like, this is a real life schedule. Okay. What do you guys notice about this schedule? So let's look in the morning. What am I doing in the morning? Somebody yell out or type in.
Lead gen.
Yeah. Is there any day, Monday to Friday, that I'm not lead generating?
Nope.
And I got BNI here early in the morning on Wednesdays, which is also lead generation. So everything that is green here is finding business. So I've got some one-to-one set up, and then I've got this stuff through here. Now, this is one of the 5 things that I teach that I call CPI time. Write this down if you don't know what this is. CPI time. These are the 5 activities that will generate you money, that will generate you profit. And not only that, will generate you this. Hold on. You want to know what it's going to generate? It's going to generate you this right here. You want to know how I get that? Behind the screen here, I do that. I get that from following these 5 things. This is CPI time. Number 1 is to lead generate. Number 2 is to lead convert. Number 3 is to attend appointments for the purpose to get hired. Number 4 is to negotiate. Number 5 is scripts and role play. So I'll say that one more time. CPI time, lead generate, convert those leads to an appointment, attend the appointment for the intention to get hired, negotiate, scripts and role play. Those are the 5 things that earn you money. Every single thing else is getting in the way of the money-making activities. Developing a website, ordering business cards, all that stuff is getting in the way of making money. Okay, so I do another class on how to work with virtual assistants and how to train, lead, motivate for a team of virtual assistants. I have 15 virtual assistants in my 2 businesses today. I've had virtual assistants since 2009, and they are partners with me. They are not people that are not, like, I'm committed to helping them in their lives. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to take a look at my calendar, and I want to sit there and say, what do you notice about this calendar? So every single day, those 5 activities that I mentioned, lead generate. I start my morning off with that every single morning, my work morning from that. Now, the blue stuff here, those are either listing appointments or high impact listing follow-ups. So after this conversation here in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be having 3 high impact conversations with the intentions of getting these. There's 2 that are really hot listings, and there's 1 that is a maybe. And so that would be the lead converting for an appointment. Okay. If you go back to last week's, let's see here, you can see on Saturday, I had an appointment here. Look forward to helping you, Michelle Coleman. And she actually has 3 property, or not 3, she has 2 properties that she's trying to sell. And so you can see again, another one of those 3. The negotiation, I don't necessarily schedule for that because that's more in real time. And then the description role play, I do that on a daily basis on my schedule here during the daily marketing huddle and the power up. So every morning I do a power up from 9 to 9:30 a.m. and 3 days a week we do role play on that. All right, so those are the 5 activities, and you notice that all 5 of those activities are in this schedule. Now, let me ask you something else. What else do you guys notice about this schedule?
You've made time for you and your family.
Yeah. Does it look like I'm killing myself?
Oh,
Yeah. So if you take a look at this, right, this creates this. If you want to know, like, how do I do this right here? Dan, how do you do this? Okay, here's how I do this. I do this. It is that simple. Now, I'm not giving you like any golden, like I know that, a lot of people attend these events because you're looking for that magic pill. Boom, there's your magic pill. If you do that, then this is your result. And guess what I'm doing at 6 o'clock at night, 6:30 at night. Tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be at the gym. Tomorrow night, and then after that, I'm watching Monday Night Football. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m., I'm with my daughter. Wednesday night, oh, goodness, a bunch of ladies are coming over to my house. I say that with love and kindness and gratitude in my heart. Unfortunately, there's not Monday Night Football on Wednesday. All right, but I digress. But what I hope that you can see, and then Friday, I'm with my daughter. I'm taking her to gymnastics. On Saturday, I'm with my daughter. I'm taking her to gymnastics. I'm not working on Saturday. And guess what? On Sunday, do not book me. And then next week, same type of deal. Same deal. This is every single week. It's already scheduled in there. It's already scheduled in there. You can see this is my schedule every single week. You can see it is the same every single week. There's the same type of thing. The only other things on my schedule are the things in orange. The things in orange, those are the times that I'm learning. Those are the times that I'm being coached. Those are the times that this week I have an hour on Friday for my marketing coach and a half an hour on Wednesday with my real estate sales coach. The ones in purple, that's when I'm teaching. Typically, and by the way, teaching for me is learning as well, because guess who has to be the most knowledgeable about a subject in a room? Typically, it's going to be the teacher if they're any good. All right, would you guys all agree to that? So if I want to be at the pinnacle of my learning, then I'm going to choose to be able to teach. So the purple's actually, I could categorize that as orange just as easily as I could categorize that as purple. But the purple is when I'm teaching, green's when I'm making money, orange when I'm learning, blue is when I'm cashing in my chips. That's when I'm attending the appointments. And the red is when I'm chilling and I'm not crushing myself. So that is a typical week for me. Not only that, I also take 2 weeks off between December 15th and December 30th. That's my planning time. If anybody wants to recruit me, I will not talk to you until December 15th about your company. December 15th, I have 2 weeks that I'll have those conversations. It makes it really, really easy for me to be able to focus in July on what matters to me most when a company says, hey, come join me because of whatever. I was about to say a name of a company, but then I knew I would piss off about half of you, so I didn't say it. It's whatever. Stop. All right. So whatever the case may be, yeah, I'll have that conversation. No, for now. No, don't. All right. So whatever that conversation may be, I think they're a great company, by the way. If I wasn't with the company I'm with right now, I'd be with that company. Just so you guys know, I'm being transparent. I'm completely transparent. So it gives me 2 weeks at the end of the year for me to be able to think, for me to be able to take on conversations like that. I take 2 weeks off with my family. I take 4 4-day weekends a month. or a year rather. I wish it was a month. 4 4-day weekends a year. Okay. And I'm able to do, more than 100 closings. I was just showing you my listing business. I wasn't showing you my buyer business. So if you get nothing else out of this, I want you to follow a schedule and put those 5 activities on there. And you may not be at the same place as I am right now because you don't have the leverage like I have. Yes, Greg, that's who I was talking about. And so, actually, no, I wasn't talking about them. So you may have, so get those 5 things onto your calendar. Okay, that's what I want you guys to do. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and open up for questions. Let's open up for conversation. Last 5 minutes for today. I'm going to give you an exercise here in about 4 minutes and let you know what we're doing tomorrow. What's your questions? What are your comments? What's your ahas?
Hey, Dan. So hope all is well, guy. I wanted to go ahead and ask, so in those last 2 weeks of December, so you're not taking on any new listings, or do you delegate that to your team?
That in December is a little bit different of a vacation than my other vacation. For me, it's just sort of like chill time. It's thinking time. I'll go on appointments, but I'm not going to be lead generating during those 2 weeks.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be following up during those 2 weeks, and I'm going to leverage off like the client care as much as possible. Yeah, for me, it's like when I say work, what I'm showing you on my schedule, that's my work, right? I would attend an appointment though. Yeah, thanks. Good question, Ephraim. What other questions you guys have? What ahas do you have? Tim, what you got?
Hey, thanks so much for doing this. First of all, talking about our first actionable thing of like, let's grab 3 current buyers and post in local Facebook groups.
I would do one.
Is that once a week? Is that once a day? Do I put all my buyers up there? Just one? What are you saying?
I would say it's a little bit of a tricky balance, right? Because the platform, you're going to sort of upset people. But here's the thing about upsetting people. Even if you do it like once every 90 days or once every 30 days, you're still going to upset people. So you have to understand, we are in a business. We own a business. Okay. So when somebody comes back and they say something negative to you, you just got to let it fly off you, right? Don't let that. Right.
No worries.
I wouldn't do it I would probably do it maybe once a month, would probably be about the pace I would do. But to really do it well, you have to then be participating in the group and adding value to it. Okay, so I would be adding value to that group, and then about once every maybe 2-3 weeks making the request, and it really sort of a proportion of how much value are you adding to it and how often you're adding value to it.
Okay.
If you're talking for 2 weeks about anything but real estate, but you're talking about, for example, living in your community, but not real estate sales, then you'll be able to do it more often than if you're just sporadically spamming a group. Is that helpful, Tim?
Yeah, very much. Thank you.
All right, cool. You're welcome. All right, we got enough time for one more question or aha. What you guys got? Okay. Here is, do I spend money on Facebook ads? I do, absolutely. We're going to go over that on Thursday. Okay, so yes, I do spend money on Facebook ads, and I'll show you exactly, well, assuming that Facebook's running on Thursday, I'll show you exactly what I do there. Okay, so here is your homework, your action steps. Your action steps are to text a minimum of 5 people to ask them to send a copy of that text that I gave you guys, and to post into a minimum of 1 Facebook group, and to post on your personal page the request that I gave you, assuming again that you can't do that. And then on the CPI Facebook group, post on there a screen grab of what you did, and then we'll enter you into winning a copy of the book, or a coaching call with me, and to be able to really dive into your business to be able to help you. So that's your homework. What questions about the homework do you have?
I was distracted. I'm very sorry when you did the text. What's the text we're sending again?
I'll read it to you. The text that we're sending is going to say, hi, can you do me a favor? I'm working with Suresh and Arna, Bob and Sue, who are looking to buy a home here in Ashburn, Detroit, San Diego. They cannot find one. Who do you know that might sell? Hi, can you do me a favor? I'm working with buyer A, buyer B, who are looking to buy a home here in X area. They cannot find one. Who do you know that might sell?
Thank
That's
you.
it. You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Any other questions about any other questions about the homework? Yes, we're going to email you this content, and we're going to email you the other content, including access to various resources. So that's all going to be emailed to you either tonight or tomorrow. Ephraim, what you got?
Hey, Dan. So what if you're attempting to, not only are you working with these buyers, but working with these buyers in a market you're attempting to break into, and your contact list or your database, you don't have anyone that you can directly send that to that would be possibly even.
Sure.
Of course, there is a possibility that they might know someone in a different market
Yeah,
other than where they reside, but you get what I mean.
Use Facebook.
Just
So
use
you're not going to be
Facebook.
able, you're not going to be able to use the so what I would do is I would join a group, post that on that group today, but then make an intention to be able to add value to that group over the next 3 weeks. So you'll get, you won't get a great result today. 3 weeks from now, after you're providing value to them, you'll get a great result. All right, guys, I'm going to email you later. Please go in the CPI group, post your homework on there to enter into win. Be here precisely 3 p.m. tomorrow. Hopefully we're on Facebook Live, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you have any other questions, I'll be checking the CPI Facebook group later tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Just send any on there. Feel free to also send me a direct message if you're not comfortable throwing it out there to the public consumption. But actually, it's probably better that you do it publicly, because amongst all of us, we have the answers, and you're going to get a whole lot better answers from all of us than you will just from me. But I'm happy to be able to participate. Thank you, everybody. Have the best day of your lives. Be grateful, help somebody, and make good choices. See ya.